They did it, and it's glorious. South Park has absolutely destroyed Lucasfilm, Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, Hollywood, today's culture. They go after everybody. I mean, at times it even feels like they're going after fans at times just because of the overreaction. Maybe it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing what they have done and how they've done it, because this is why they have continued to be successful for several decades, what, 2, 3 decades now. This is why South Park continues to stay relevant, because nobody is safe. I loved everything about this episode. I watched the entire episode over on Paramount Plus. It was phenomenal in every step of the way. South Park blames Kathleen Kennedy for why Disney movies all suck now. Now, I did upload another video playing some of the clips, and it got blocked. So we're probably just going to have to go through some of the points right here on this wrap article. But as a South Park had one big unexpected villain in its latest special, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, joining the Panderverse, which is fantastic. Even went as far as to blame the executive for why Disney movies all suck now. Spoilers ahead. So there are spoilers for what we're about to read. Before diving into this madness that is South Park, some background on Kennedy is helpful. I don't think anybody watching my video needs any background on Kathleen Kennedy. We know that she basically is a secretary that got elevated because she attached her name to properties that had like Steven Spielberg directing and other great minds. She just was able to attach her name because of her connections, and eventually she got elevated into a place that she had no idea being, which is the president of Lucasfilm, and the rest is kind of history. But in this right here towards the end, it's funny because the rap clearly just doesn't understand it, or they just need to be fake offended. But it says that she's produced all these Star Wars movies since Lucasfilm has taken over, or Disney has taken over Lucasfilm. But it says she is not involved with Marvel or DC's non-Star Wars animated content, though that doesn't seem to be the case in the universe of South Park. At first blush, that may make her an odd choice as South Park's latest boogeyman, but buckle up because that's just the beginning of this particular roller coaster. Yes, you clearly don't understand the joke here. Paramount Plus's joining the Panderverse starts with Cartman waking up with a nightmare in which he and all of his friends have been replaced by queer adult women of color as Bob Iger's stock falls. He begs his mom to check under his bed to make sure no Disney executives are under there, namely Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy. But as often the case with South Park, what starts as a silly take on irrational fears and anger of fanboys is pushed to its absolute limits. As the special progresses, Cartman swaps places with his multiverse counterpart, a black woman who actually identifies as him, or who acts identically like him. And it's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault. In the special, Kennedy and Disney CEO Bob Iger eventually reveal that they've been using a device known as the Pander Stone, an ancient piece of artificial intelligence that that could be used to make the same movies over and over again while appealing to absolutely everyone, Kennedy explains. These more diverse movies led to a backlash of hateful and racist letters from fans. Desperate to counter this bigotry, South Park's Kennedy returned to the Pander Stone and attempted to fight back with even more lit movies. The repeated use of the Pander Stone fractured the multiverse known as the Panderverse, which is which is how both versions of Cartman and Kennedy came to be in the wrong universe. That's actually the best explanation I've heard as to why all Disney movies suck now, Cartman says to Kennedy. Ultimately, the two team up. Cartman apologizes for sending Kennedy tens of thousands of pieces of hate mail a day, and Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And Kennedy vows to make original content that doesn't pander going forward. I'm sorry I was so reckless with things that you love. It was lazy, Kennedy tells Cartman, getting to the crux of the episode. I guess I was just railing on woke stuff all the time. Is pretty lazy too, Cartman responds. This is far from the first time South Park has targeted Disney, yada, yada, yada. So, dude, it is fantastic. It's an excellent episode. And again, this is what Trey Parker and Matt Stone are phenomenal at. They take these situations, they make strong points by doing it in nonsensical ways, and they tend to have points from both perspectives at the end of it, but both sides feel like they were justified, and it's just phenomenal. I can guarantee you that the pro Disney side, they're going to be so upset over this. They're gonna cry, they're gonna whine, they're gonna scream. Um, and that's why they are in the position that they are in. They're gonna play the victim over this. Again, there are moments in this episode where they definitely go more after Disney for sure, but they point out some of the fan reaction as well. Of course they do. This is South Park. Have you ever watched South Park? This is what they do. And it's pretty damn good. It's also, I love the cultural stuff that they get into as well. There's a scene with Randy where he's going to teach them how to fix things. And it's just so glorious. It's typical South Park. I haven't watched South Park consistently over the years, but I have watched several episodes that have kind of really, like the Michael Jackson episode, for instance. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I love Michael Jackson. And I think that the Michael Jackson episode of South Park is truly phenomenal. It really is, because you can't get butthurt when you're getting roasted like that. You just have to roll with it. And it's really funny. And what South Park does is beautiful. In terms of just getting into things like the Panderverse, I think that is excellent in the way that they've done it. They also talk about how multiverses are stupid, because they are. And yeah, in small doses, a multiverse obviously can be very good and very entertaining and very cool. But they have just completely relied on the multiverse at this point in time. And now everything's a multiverse. Nothing matters. There's no stakes. No one's ever really gone. And you've pretty much destroyed all of these universes from that perspective. And it gets into that. It also, again, gets into the element of how no one knows how to do anything today in today's culture. And handyman, the handyman becomes the rich guy because he knows he's the only person that has any skills. He's the only person. All these guys wasted all this time and money in college, and now they have no skills whatsoever. So they rebel against the college. It is a phenomenal episode. So, with that said, have you guys seen South Park Into the Panderverse? If you have not, I highly recommend it. Even with knowing some of the details, you're going to love everything about it. It's so good, and I can't wait to see the meltdown over this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget, Solo lost money. Rayloads are weird. Fuck Lucasfilm, and we will talk to you later.